In 454 AD, the Hunnic Empire, a juggernaut that terrorized Rome and reshaped Europe, faced its reckoning. Along the obscure banks of the Nedao River, a coalition of rebel tribes stood ready to defy their Hunnic overlords in a battle that history has all but forgotten. This is the Battle of Nedao, a clash that shattered an empire and redrew the map of Europe. Welcome to Mad Strawberry Jam, where we uncover the hidden battles that shaped our world. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most pivotal yet overlooked moments of the 5th century. Let's get started. To grasp the significance of Nedao, we must first understand the Huns. Emerging from the Eurasian steppes in the late 4th century, the Huns were a nomadic confederation renowned for their mobility, archery, and ferocity. By the 440s, under their charismatic leader Attila, dubbed the Scourge of God, they forged an empire unlike any other. Unlike Rome's structured legions or Persia's royal courts, the Huns ruled through fear, tribute, and loosely bound subject tribes. Attila's Huns extorted vast sums from the Eastern and Western Roman empires, often receiving thousands of pounds of gold annually to avoid invasion. In 451 AD, Attila invaded Gaul, only to be halted at the Battle of the Catalaunian Plains by a Roman Visigothic coalition. A year later, he ravaged Italy, sacking cities like Aquileia before withdrawing under pressure. But in 453 AD, the Hunnic juggernaut stumbled. Attila died suddenly, possibly from a hemorrhage or poisoning during a wedding feast, leaving his empire leaderless. Attila's death sparked chaos. His sons Ellac, Ernak, and others vied for control, each claiming a piece of the empire. Meanwhile, the Hun subject tribes, including the Gepids, Ostrogoths, Heruli, and Rugi, grew restless. These Germanic and Iranic peoples had been forced to fight for the Huns, pay tribute, and endure subjugation. Now they saw a chance for independence. Leading the rebellion was Ardaric, king of the Gepids, a Germanic tribe settled in the Carpathian Basin. Once a loyal ally of Attila, Ardaric now rallied a coalition to overthrow Hunnic rule. Our primary source for the Battle of Nedao is Jordanes, a 6th century Gothic historian who wrote Getica, a history of the Goths. While his account is brief and occasionally biased, it's the best we have. Other sources, like the Chronicles of Priscus, offer context on the Huns' decline. According to Jordanes, the rebellion erupted in 454 AD, just a year after Attila's death. The exact location of the Nedao River is debated, likely a tributary of the Danube or Tisza, but it lay in the heart of former Hunnic territory. The Gepids, by their own might, won for themselves the territory of the Huns. Ardaric's coalition was diverse, uniting Gepids, Ostrogoths under Valamir, Heruli, Rugi, and possibly smaller groups like the Siri. Estimates of their numbers are speculative, but they likely fielded 20 to 30,000 warriors, a mix of heavy infantry, cavalry, and archers. The Gepids, known for their sturdy infantry and iron weapons, formed the backbone. The Ostrogoths added mobile cavalry, while the Heruli brought skirmishing expertise. Facing them were the Huns, led by Ellac, Attila's eldest son. The Huns, perhaps 15 to 25,000 strong, relied on their signature horse archers, supported by loyal subject tribes. The stakes were enormous. For the Huns, defeat meant the loss of their empire. For Ardaric's coalition, victory promised freedom and the chance to carve out new kingdoms. Both sides knew the Nedao River's banks would decide their fate. Though Jordanes provides few tactical details, we can reconstruct the battle based on Hunnic and Germanic warfare. The Nedao's terrain, marshy in places with open fields, likely favored Ardaric's coalition. The Huns thrived in open steppes where their horse archers could harass and outmaneuver foes, but marshes and riverbanks restricted their mobility, leveling the playing field. Imagine the scene: Gepid warriors, clad in chainmail and wielding long spears, lock shields against a hail of Hunnic arrows. Ostrogothic cavalry, armed with lances, wait for their moment to charge. The Heruli, lightly armored, harass the Hunnic flanks with javelins. Ellac's Huns, confident in their speed, attempt to break the coalition with feigned retreats, a classic steppe tactic. But Ardaric's forces hold firm, their discipline forged by years of fighting alongside and against the Huns. The turning point likely came when the Huns, overextended, were pinned against the river or marshes. Archaeological evidence from similar Germanic battles suggests heavy infantry could devastate cavalry in close quarters. As the day wore on, the coalition's numbers and coordination overwhelmed the Huns. Ellac, leading from the front, was cut down possibly by a Gepid spear or Ostrogothic blade. His death broke Hunnic morale, and their army collapsed into a rout. By dusk, the Nedao's banks were littered with bodies. Hunnic warriors, Gepid spearmen, and countless others. The coalition stood victorious, their rebellion a stunning success. The Battle of Nedao was over, but its echoes would reshape Europe. The Battle of Nedao was really the death knell for the Hunnic Empire. Without Ellac, Attila's remaining sons, Dengisich and Ernak, just couldn't hold the empire together. By the 460s, the Huns had retreated to the Black Sea steppes, or, well, they'd assimilated into other groups, their empire just a memory. Some Huns even joined the Romans as mercenaries, which is quite a far cry from their days of dominance. For the victors, Nedao was a new beginning. The Gepids, under Ardaric, established a kingdom in Dacia, centered around what we now call Transylvania. The Ostrogoths, freed from the Hunnic yoke, later migrated to Italy under Theodoric, founding a powerful kingdom. The Heruli and Rugi carved out smaller territories, shaping that chaotic post-Roman world. Nedao didn't just end Hunnic rule, it actually unleashed the Germanic tribes that would dominate Europe in the early Middle Ages. The Gepids ruled until 567 AD, the Ostrogoths until 553 AD. Why is Nedao so obscure? Well, first, the sources are thin. Jourdain's brief account is our only direct record, and later, historians like Procopius focus on Byzantine wars. Second, it's really overshadowed by Attila's larger-than-life campaigns and, of course, the fall of Rome. Yet Nedao's impact was profound. It proved that even the most fearsome empires could crumble when their subjects united. As historian Peter Heather notes, Nedao marked the birth of a new European order driven by Germanic ambition. The Battle of Nedao is, honestly, a testament to the power of rebellion and the fragility of empires. It's a story of forgotten heroes like Ardaric who dared to challenge the Huns and won. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into one of history's hidden gems. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button, subscribe to Mad Strawberry Jam, and hit the bell for more untold stories. Want to explore more about the Huns, the Gepids, or the fall of Rome? Drop a comment below and tell us what battle we should cover next. For further reading, check out Jourdain's Getica or Peter Heather's The Fall of the Roman Empire. Links in the description. Until next time, keep uncovering the past.